Hi, good evening all. Well, the boys come up short in a game where they probably deserved a little better. Coming up. Well, UPL once again looked outstanding in this one. That's the good news. The bad news, we come out of this with nothing. And that hurts because Tampa lost tonight. There was a perfect opportunity to jump on them. But look, this Florida team, guys, came out. They were ready. They took the body to us. I'm not surprised. This is a loose bunch over there. This is the best team in hockey since January 1st. And this team right now is finding ways to win, whereas the Sabres are scrapping their ways to win, which is fine also. But in this one, they just fall short. You could feel it, too, that they were... Another 5 minutes left, we probably would have tied this game, eh? Anyway, we'll look at the numbers and we shall talk about it. Here we go. Final shots, when it was all said and done, was a close 38-33. The face-offs, they had 61%. The Sabres had 39. They were 2 for 5 on the power play. We were 1 for 4. Look at the hits, folks. 37 hits. We had 19. We had 13 blocks. They had 10. We had 9 giveaways, they had 10. We had 7 takeaways, they had 5. A lot of areas we were just right with them except for that hitting department. Shots on goal per period. 11-9 Florida in the first, 18-8 Florida in the second. So they go into the dressing room out shooting us 29-17 after 2 periods. Sabres come out, wake up in the third. 16-9 shots on goal for the Sabres in the third. And sadly, we come out with the loss in regulation. Scoring. Cousins opens it up at the 9:25 mark on the power play from Greenway and Power, 1-0 Sabres. Bennett replies a few minutes later at 12:54, ties it 1-1 from Cousins and Montour. And to close out the first period, Tkachuk, the red hot Tkachuk, I should say, from Verhaeghe and Montour. A few minutes after that, at 15:36, 2-1 Florida after 1. No scoring in the second. And the Sabres, you felt by getting out of that second, not, what was it? We had like 0 shots the first 10 minutes or something. You felt they were right in this game all of a sudden. Third period on the power play, 2 men up. Montour from Tkachuk and Reinhart at 9:41 makes it 3-1. Tage finally, the snake-bitten Tage finally gets a goal from Dahlin and Tuck at 12:44, and that is how it closed out, 3-2. We got ripped off. That's how I feel. We got ripped off. Folks, one thing I will say in this game is I honestly believe coaching defeated us in this game. I'll just say it. I think coaching is what beat us in this game. Not just because of that bench minor. I didn't like the reaction time of the Sabres. They didn't wake up physically till they were being bullied in this game. There was a lot of things I didn't like in this game that happened to us. And at the end, why wasn't the goalie pulled when there was like 2.5 minutes left? Why are we waiting to like have possession of the puck? So what? You got it in your own zone. There's a minute left. Pull the damn goalie. You know, get the goalie out of there. And then there's times where we pull the goalie and I don't agree. But tonight was one of those times you could feel in this game that being a man up late in the game meant a lot in a game like this. And Granato waited to what, 35 seconds left? We didn't even get a shot after that, if I'm right. I mean, if we did, it was nothing. It was too late. So I think we were outcoached in this game. He had over there, Maurice had that team ready physically. They were out hitting us, what was it, 30-11 at one point in this game. 30-12 after 2 periods, and punishing hits. They were beating us in the corners. The Sabres, though, were standing up for themselves. I will say that about that in this game, where in the third period, we stood up to them physically, but why do we have to get pounded on to stand up for ourselves? Why? Why does it always have to come to that, Granato? Why? So if there's anything I'm frustrated with, lack of physical play when we needed to bring it out early in the game. You're up 1-0, put the body to them. Don't let them bring the body to you, because if you do that, they're going to tie it sooner or later and even take the lead, and it's exactly what they did. Once they started pummeling us on the boards, I knew they were going to tie this game. I knew it. But UPL, folks, if there's any gold trim you want to take from this, take that. UPL was stellar in nets again tonight. I mean, he just looked calm. He looked an inch taller again in that net tonight. So I'm thrilled with UPL. It's very misleading. His goals against is over 3 in that game, because that game he deserved like 150 as his goals against. He deserved a goal and a half to go in. You know, if it wasn't for that stupid going down 5-on-3, we never would have probably lost this game. We probably still would have come back regardless of, you know, I'm a believer that there's a ripple effect to every play. So, like, yeah, the game would have been a little different, 2-1 down the stretch. Doesn't mean Tage would have scored. It might have been somebody else. But I do believe we would have still tied this game the way it was going. And it's frustrating that they had to bail the coach out tonight. That's how it felt in this one, you know. And you know, if we had any kind of steady influence behind the bench, I honestly believe, like, our power play folks. I know we scored in this game. I see it. Yes, I know. But how many passes do we have to make to understand what Gretzky said? Gretzky's saying is right. You score on 0% of the shots you don't take. One of Gretzky's famous sayings, guys, you never score on the shots you don't take. Shoot it. Like, if you're at the point, shoot it. I don't care if it looks like they're trying to shoot it between the defenseman's legs and hope it bounces off 2 guys in the net. You guys know how it is in hockey. It's funny. The bounces find their way sometimes. You have seeing eyes. So I felt like we let UPL down in this one because we didn't wake up physically right away. We just kind of let them pummel us a bit too much. Then we woke up, and if anything, the Sabres are 10 on 10 is standing up for each other. That they're great at. They are great for standing up for each other. That, give them credit there for sure. When it comes to the mean side of things, though, we're wusses, guys. We just are. And tonight was a game where we played pretty good physically. I'll say it. We played pretty good physically, but they were a level better physically than us because they controlled the physical aspect of this game all night long. Even in the third period, I think we out-hit them 7-5. By that point, they had a 2-goal lead, right? So they had that 2-goal lead. They can just ease up a bit, play good defense, block shots, do whatever, break up plays. They were standing at their blue line a lot, and we weren't dumping it in enough, guys. I know we have this thing where we think we're the 1980s Oilers. We're not. They try too often, the Sabres, to make plays. This dumb play where Dahlin always has to turn backwards and flip it back. Every team in the league knows we do this on the power play. Stop doing it, Dahlin. Take the puck, throw it in, get in there, and smack your man in the boards as hard as possible. And the next guy that's coming in for the puck, smack your man in the boards as hard as possible. Maybe something will happen then. But these little, like, you know, we're not the Soviet Red Army team that we think we are. We're just not. And this is why they had a simple game plan. Block up the neutral zone and stop the Sabres, especially from coming over the blue line comfortably. If we do that, we're going to beat these guys because they don't hit. They know it. They know it. They don't mind forcing corner plays because they know we won't hit them. They know we'll go after the puck, but we won't take the man. This is something that has to be addressed, guys. I've been saying it for years. I don't know how often more I got to say it. But overall, guys, honestly, I'm happy with this effort tonight. I am. The boys played their hearts out. They tried. If we had a different voice behind the bench, I think we would have won tonight. That's how I feel. Maybe I'm just being mean on Granato. I don't know. I feel like if we had a guy like a Tortorella behind the bench, we would have won that game going away tonight. I really believe a coaching change is desperately needed for this team to get anywhere. I feel like we're on the bubble, and that Granato kind of like makes the bubble just get bigger. You know, like this is how it feels. I'm not even going to harp on Granato for the stupid bench penalty. No, not that, guys. What bothered me was how we weren't prepared physically in a game where we knew this team is going to come at us hard. They're going to tear our heads off in the corners if they can. Guys like Bennett and stuff, they got no mercy. Kachuk, this is a real hockey team over there. This is a team that can win the Stanley Cup this year. I believe last year they should have won the Stanley Cup, but destiny always has its word when it comes to that. Look, if we can take this, what we were doing in that third period into next game, I think we can beat Tampa. We're going to have to beat Tampa now, though. We have to win that game. We cannot go on this trip 0-2. We can't come home on 0-2, guys, and and start doing this again. But it's one of those seasons. I want to say that ahead of time. It is one of those seasons. But if we can get the Tampa game, like I told you guys, I'll be happy with 1-1 on this trip. And if you ask me which win we need more, I would have said this one, believe it or not, even though I want to beat Tampa, because this would have set up a much bigger game with Tampa if we would have won tonight. And the boys know it. They know it. I'm sure they're discouraged you lost this game. But they're young. They're young and they're learning. And they have a coach, unfortunately, that hasn't coached very long in this league and doesn't really know how to approach that, I think, So I'm going to leave it there. That's my take on the game. Overall, very happy with the effort. I am. I thought they played hard. I thought they played their guts out at the end. I think we rested on our laurels for too long early, even though we had the lead. But we started resting on that lead a bit because they came at us physically and we didn't respond at first. We just didn't respond. Not like we should have. Knock somebody right on his ass is what we need to do. Right on their bench. Knock a guy right into their bench. Like, there's things you got to do in hockey. I believe that send a message to the team like, no, you're not pulling that crap on us. Like that, But when the Sabres had to be bullied a bit to respond, it kind of sends that message that they can be bullied. You know what I mean? And then also, down the stretch in that game, you could tell that the Sabres are right with them physically by that point. But God, guys, we got to do it for 60 minutes, not 10 or 15. Anyway, that's where I stand. Good game. Heartbreaking loss. UPL was awesome. We need to step up physically. Granato needs to become a better coach. And we'll win a lot of games. All right, guys. Done for the night. I don't think I'm doing any more videos right now. I might look and see. I might draw some up for tomorrow. I might not. But I do plan to put some out for you tomorrow. Have a great night. We'll try and get Tampa Bay and split this road trip, and then we can hold our heads high. Got to win next game, though, no matter what. See you then.